Let's check out the tail of the tape in the opener.
Normally this would be a featherweight matchup, and that's why the weights are shown, because of the late draw of Sinis, 146.4 and 148.8 for Leonardos.
Another unforgettable Bellator Dublin has arrived on a night that ends with an undisputed world champion. Begins as always with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to 3 Arena for Bellator MMA live on Showtime. Tonight from Dublin, Ireland, we extend a special welcome to the brave men and women serving around the world and joining us on AFN, the American Forces Network. And now, Bellator 291 gets underway with a 149-pound contract weight fight set for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'8", weighing in 148.8 pounds in his Bellator debut. He brings 11 professional victories, 5 losses, 1 draw from Thessaloniki, Greece, presenting Leonardos Pitbull Sinis. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 146.4 pounds. He's undefeated as a professional. 6 victories, no losses from Drogheda, County Louth, Ireland. Introducing Ciaran Clarke.
If they sang Sweet Caroline at the Coliseum, this is what it would be like.
In charge, Brian Miner.
And these are the unified rules. Brian Miner will be officiating. You know anything about these? Or?
A little bit. We go off the 10-point must system. That means that the winner will be awarded 10 points, the opponent 9 points or less. That is based upon effective striking, grappling, meaning that whichever one took place the most, that's what they're looking for, and damage. Then it goes to aggressiveness and cage control. Our feature bouts are all 3 5-minute rounds, with our championship bout being 5 5-minute rounds.
You know, people will make up their own rules on social media anyway, so it doesn't matter.
This is true.
Now, Sinis with all the experience, but he clearly struggled trying to make the lower weight. It was pretty obvious when we saw him yesterday.
Well, he came in with a week and a half notice because the original opponent dropped out. So when you get into that contracted weight, the fact that he was, working towards getting it, I give him all the credit in the world.
Now, keep in mind, Ciaran Clarke has been criticized for some slow starts. He's gotten dropped in first rounds. So that is a point of emphasis here to get a better start.
This is the place that Ciaran Clarke feels very comfortable. If he is on the ground, he is a happy man. If he's in the top position, he's incredibly happy because he does damage with ground and pound, and he moves himself to better positions throughout the round and tries to go for the submissions.
We talked to so many of these fighters, Peter Queerley and Ciaran Clarke and Pedro Carvalho, about fighting in front of this crowd. It's a blessing. It can be a curse, too, if you let it get to you, because we've seen fighters, especially John, younger fighters, really feel the pressure to perform.
Absolutely, but the one that I will really give credit to is Ciaran Clarke is so used to fighting in front of a crowd, he just feeds off of it, and he builds off of it. And here in this fight, he has started much faster than we've seen him in the past.
He wants to travel the world like most young fighters. He wants to fight in the U.S. There is no substitute for this crowd. Top position, in control, and staying busy.
And right now you're taking a look at what Sinis is doing. Nothing in any way that is going to change the position of what we have. Those shots coming up, they do land, but they don't have near the power that what Ciaran Clarke is landing based just upon gravity. Those are nice, clean shots by Ciaran Clarke.
Sinis has been unable to change this position. This is going on 2 minutes now.
See, right now, with where he's at, he should be looking to use that cage to get himself back to his feet. But that's not what we're seeing at all. What we're seeing is he's leaving his back flat on the canvas. And if you're in that position, you are not getting up. Nice knee shield inside. We'll see if he does something with it. You might see Clarke passing that leg over, completing his half guard.
Just a much better start than we have seen from Ciaran Clarke. His numbers will indicate, again, it's not as much the volume, but the quality of the strikes.
Yeah, and this is, well, both are striking. Yes, they are. But I'll be the top man all day long while you hit me from the bottom. No problem.
Toes out of cage.
Can't put the toes in the cage, as Brian Miner called Sinis on. These are heavy hammer fists from Clarke.
Nice job knee on belly for a while there by Clarke. Goes right back to it. Now into mount.
Into mount. Didn't have a lot of room to work, but he snuck that in there. Can he get the distance to drop those fists? It looks like he can.
And he's doing a great job of keeping posture right here. Notice.
Oh, we're getting close to checkmate here.
You see Sinis trying to buck the hips, but there's nowhere to go with the fence right there. That's not going to change your position.
Brian Miner taking a closer look now.
Ciaran Clarke landing heavy elbow strikes. This is where he shines. Look at the body triangle already in place. Got the figure forward. Now he's going after the choke.
His fans and his coaches wanted a better first round from Ciaran Clarke. Instead, what they got is a dominant first round.
15 seconds, Ciaran.
And full marks to the veteran Sinis just to survive it. You've always been so strict. Sinis, like a lot of fighters, particularly in Europe, having a difficult time staying active during COVID. His fourth fight in the last 5 years.
Ooh, nice left.
That's great.
Beautiful left hand by Ciaran Clarke.
Right into mount. 30 seconds into the round.
Nice job by Sinis.
Yeah, to get out of it. Three straight finishes for Ciaran Clarke in the 6-0 start. Dynamic change with the late opponent change. And he knows finishes are what people are hungry for. And Sinis, in a 11-year career, has only been stopped twice.
Sinis working real hard right now, but cannot stay in this position right here. You've got to say, I've got to move, because really, he's mounted. It's just low mount. The legs are pressed together. It's just that Ciaran has his weight far back. He's not sitting more towards the diaphragm and chest area. He's got all of his weight back, controlling the legs.
And this is a great example of what we're talking about you could say these are 20 landed strikes from the top and 20 landed from the bottom, but that's a huge difference in real life.
Exactly. Nice elbow strikes by Sinis. He's trying, but it's more just arm. There's not a whole lot that's behind it.
By the way, if I said the name Jessica Koizumi, do you know who that is? Probably not, right?
I do not.
She's the best hockey player ever from Hawaii.
Huh.
Just want to make sure before we get tweets.
Okay. I don't know where you came up with that one, but you just proved yourself right.
I had a long flight. Kevin McDonald's and I. Well, Clarke still working. He hasn't been satisfied with the position.
And he's doing a great job of working the body also. Right here, he's lacing the arm. Knows he's got that right arm trapped now. Very smart as he needs to try to grab that left arm. Unable to hold it. Ciaran still has that right arm. Goes back to doubling it up. Now he's got it in place.
Oh, that one got through. Remember, again, the reason I brought up the weight cut and the difficulty that Sinis had is that fatigue has to be a factor here at some point, especially when you've been on the bottom for 9 out of 10 minutes.
He's been working very hard to try to get the weight of Ciaran Clarke off him, and it's not happened. Ciaran having too much technique. And you saw how he changed from being in the mount position in the first round where he was at. He decided, I'm going to go back. I'm going to leg ride a lot of this and keep myself heavy so his legs can't be used. Great job of passing right here. He's trying to grab the head. It's not going to do anything. Ciaran Clarke just in complete control right now. There you go, pressing that leg down. More like a 3/4 mount.
Sinis has just been caught in the rain without an umbrella, and he takes a couple more big shots here. He's taken a lot.
He has been the one thing out of watching his fights. The guy has no quit in him. He will continue to take shots. He is not in any way going to ever just give in. You've got to stop him. Nice short elbow strike.
Again, now the numbers piling up, and remember the majority of those coming from this exact spot like that.
And those are heavy, and your head's not being able to move anywhere when it's landing. Solid shots landed by Ciaran Clarke.
Clarke from a north-south position finishing round 2. He's been a third-round finisher, and that's where we're headed.
Again, you take a look at this round, just simply domination by Clarke. He goes for the takedown. Sinis thinks that he's going to come out on top. You see him try to turn towards him. Clarke already has the leg in position. He's already putting weight. Sinis cannot turn that corner on him. And Clarke ends up where he is just hammering shots on Sinis. Big elbows.
9 minutes of ground control in 10 minutes. As we told you, what's impressive to me, John, is that Ciaran Clarke here, these aren't wild young guy attacks. He's stayed aggressive, but he hasn't been out of control here.
No, he's been very reserved as far as he's been picking his shots, doing damage, not letting Sinis turn that, position around on him. Smart fighting. That's why he's ahead easily 2-0.
Sinis has won his fights by submission. He is not a knockout fighter. And he hasn't been in any kind of position on the ground to do any kind of work. It's been all defense.
Yep, you all right?
Clarke almost
Time.
You good? You sure? All right, time in. Come on.
Here's where Ciaran Clarke doesn't want to stop.
Right, a nice change of level. And the single brings it backside. Nice job by Ciaran Clarke. Runs the pipe to the backside, brings him down. We're going to see if he tries to actually pass this guard.
In all 3 rounds, Ciaran Clarke has scored the takedown very early.
goes Clarke. Nice job by Sinis putting back from half guard into full guard. But there's nothing that Sinis is doing that's going to change the flow of where this fight is directed. All these little shots, they're not going to do any type of damage to Ciaran Clarke to stop what he's able to do back.
So you can see all the work that Ciaran Clarke has put in has been on display.
Nice job of trying to knee shield by Sinis when he comes up. That's why Clarke comes back down on him.
A less experienced fighter would have been finished a long time ago.
Oh yeah, like I said, you know, in watching all of his fights, one thing I know, I said all the time, one thing I wrote down, super durable.
Yep.
Just keeps on fighting, doesn't stop, you know, doesn't get affected by things, and that's really impressive as far as he's tough.
And that's not the worst thing for Ciaran Clarke either, to get in there with a veteran that doesn't have that quit.
You got to go through these types of fights where you have an opponent that you keep on just grinding on him, and you know how miserable it is, and they just don't stop.
We talked about this earlier with A.J. McKee getting specific fights that were important for him in his undefeated rise, that some were tough fights, particularly here in this building.
And that's exactly what you're seeing right now for Ciaran Clarke. He's going to end up being 7-0 here if this continues this way. But these are the type of fights that you need to have. You need to have those ones that, you know, you had to dig down, and, you know, guy doesn't quit, so you just keep on doing what you're doing. You're being successful with it, just go keep doing it.
12 minutes of ground control, and we are not yet at the 14-minute mark. In some ways, you ask yourself, what's more impressive against a veteran, a 30-second win or 15 minutes of pure dominance?
You know, it has been pure dominance. I'm kind of, you know, wondering if any of the judges have given any of these rounds 10-8, because Ciaran Clarke has just dominated position, hasn't really done damage, and that's what you're really looking. I want to see damage to say that I'm going to give that 10-8 round. But
I bet you there's one in there.
I agree with you. I think there will be.
There's going to be a 26 on one of these scorecards. You wanted to see improvement, and instead you saw dominance from Ciaran Clarke, and I mean start to finish. So will there be any 26s on the scorecards? That's the question. Michael C. Williams about to give us the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. Eric Colon, Ben Cartledge, Sal D'Amato, all have it exactly the same at 30-26. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Ciaran